Good evening and welcome to this special edition of the Falcon Flyby for FKT. And what we're going to do today, or what I'm showing you this evening, is a draw test on a little bit more complex holster than what we're used to. But hey, we're always up for a challenge here at Falcon Kydex Tech. So what we had was our pistol that was needed for this order was a Glock 19. Let me make sure, let me grab the actual order invoice here. I'm sorry, Glock 17 with a 300 Surefire striker holster. And what happened was originally the customer had ordered the hood and it didn't work out like they thought it would, like we thought it would. So we went one step further. We said, hey, look, we're going to take care of you. We're going to hook you up. So we went out, and I do apologize for coming in and out of camera here. We went out and we got two things here. The first thing we got is the WRS level 2 hood kit, right hand large. So secures the pistol. As you can see, that pistol is not coming out of that holster. I do apologize. The next piece of the gear I'm going to talk to you about is the WRS DOS 3-inch duty loop. For this particular, on the back side, it has an adjustable piece, so you can adjust that to the width of your belt. I believe I'm wearing a 2-inch width belt, and this is all the way extended, so the holster is able to move up and down a little bit. I do apologize for that. But for you guys that are using your battle belts, or you have the wider belts, you can slide it right in through here. It's going to hold nice and steady. So we went out and we got these two items for this customer, and we're like, look, we're going to get you taken care of, because you've been a good customer. This particular customer has come back to us. Their repeat business, I would say probably this is their 4th or 5th holster that they've ordered from Falcon Kydex. So we wanted to take care of them. That's what we do here. You know, if you're a return customer and you were going with one thing and we get it, we're just like, look, hey, this doesn't look like it's going to work. Let us design something for you. If you give us that availability, we'll go out, we'll buy those parts. Okay, no charge to the customer. We'll buy those parts so that way you guys can get a top-notch product. So what we did was here, first thing, our Kydex came from, we ordered this from Knife Kits. KnifeKits.com is one of our suppliers for us. So we went, we got the Kydex for them, and we do have more multicam on order. This piece of multicam here for us to make this holster, because it is our striker wrap platform. You're looking at using, because it comes by a 12x12 sheet, so we're using about 11 inches of the width, and then the whole entire 12-inch sheet. So we make sure that we get these form fit and no deformities in them. So what we have here, again, what I want to show is how easy it is to draw this pistol from the holster. But as you see with the hood, it's not coming out. I mean, I'm pulling on this hard, so it's not coming up out of that holster. You can't rack it out of there. So we're going to hit the thumb release, and it is new, so it is a little tight. I think I might have screwed the tension screws in there just a little too tight to hold that mechanism on. But look, very, very easy to unholster and reholster that right back in. Very easy. I have big hands. You have plenty of room to get a full grip on this pistol, so there's no problem there. So again, I'm left-handed, so drawing from the right side is a little foreign to me. I am getting better with it as I practice, and I make a lot of right-handed side holsters. So when I do these individual tests, I'm always making sure that you got good clearance, you're able to get to your pistol, and you're able to reholster it without issue. And again, that nice little click. And again, it's not going anywhere. Now, to any law enforcement or military that are watching this video, I can tell you, I have produced these holsters for military members and a few law enforcement members, and the last one I did before this one went out to I believe it was a British Royal Marine or British Army, not sure, but he got he did an Enforcer holster, which is our normal pancake style holster. He did that with the retention hood, and he absolutely loves it. He had a Glock, I believe it was the same setup, a Glock 300 with a Glock 19 with the 300 on it. So hang on one second. It's telling me that my connection is weak. I hope you guys can still see me. Every now and then this happens and I have to switch over to my Wi-Fi, but let me know in the notes section if you guys can't see me. It's probably, who knows, using the internet, streaming a movie in the house, who knows. So again, let me show you that it's not going anywhere. It's not coming out at all, okay? Like I said, that hood is new. I can easily draw it, and I can easily reholster it, all right? So if you're on the range and you're doing your thing, you're able to draw. It's not going to get snagged on the reholster or on the draw very quick. Come back, and you're good to go. Now, what I am going to do for you guys, because I don't like doing short little videos, and since we're using this cool live broadcast thing, is I'm going to set you guys up on high, and you're going to be able to watch me work in the shop as you're seeing holsters being pressed out, formed, and everything here. So I do have a holster in the press. I'm getting ready to put a couple other holsters in the oven, or the Kydex in the oven to get them pressed out. I'm also getting ready to do some work on some flashbang pouches, which I might do first with the heat gun, because if you run the heat gun and the oven at the same time, for some reason I like to pop the breaker. So not much I can do about that right now. So again, I do thank you for tuning in to this little 5-minute live broadcast, is showing the draw on this holster for this customer. I've already sent him pictures of it. He's already seen it, and we're going to be getting this out to him ASAP so that way he can enjoy this holster. He's been waiting a long time. Like I said, great customer, has come back to us several times, and we take care of our repeat business customers. You know, we have a lot of them out there. They buy 1 or 2 things from us, and it might be a couple months down the road they buy a new pistol, and they call us up or email us or text us and say, hey, I just bought this gun. What's it cost for a holster? I wanted this color, this side, and we go from there. So we do definitely take care of our repeat customers, and hey, we take care of all our customers. You know, again, with our product warranty, if you ever, for any reason, if he was to, you know, if this holster was to get damaged beyond his control, beyond normal wear and tear, you could send it right back to us. If we cannot fix it, we will make you a new one. So that's one of the things that Falcon Kydex Tech does. I know there's a couple other companies out there that do the same thing, so we want to take care of our Kydex customers. And to let you know, this stuff is all made by hand. I don't have an injection mold machine anywhere in my shop or anything like that. Everything is handmade, so it's custom made when you guys order it. That's what we do, made with these hands for you. So again, if you're looking for a good holster, something that's going to keep your pistol in there secure if you're running or something along those lines, our Striker platform is a really good platform to have. With the Striker platform, we do work with we can mount them with the G-Code RTI, the Blackhawk setups. Pretty much anything that you can find out there to potentially mount on this, if we can map out the holes, the drill hole patterns and the mount holes, it's not a problem with us. And also, I want to put this out to the sponsor. The mold that we are using is from Multi Molds. I know I don't show these to you guys when I do the live broadcast, and I mention them every Saturday. But, you know, you can call them the infamous mint green molds. This is a multi-mold molding gun. And like I said, this is my Glock 17 X300 Ultra. It's all, you know, it's got all the ports and stuff have already been filled in, so I don't have to worry about that. He's already got the channels set on this, so I don't have to worry about taping down the light channels or anything like that. So again, this is a multi-mold molding gun. Check out their website, multimoldguns.com, and you will not be left wondering if your mold gun is going to shrink or not work or not be to spec. We use these things for both airsoft and real steel. The great thing about how he makes these is these are right in the middle and they work perfect, so I can use them both for airsoft and real steel molds. So get a little bit off topic, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put you guys up on high so you can see what's going on, so you can watch as I'm in the shop. I will tell you there are parts when we run the sander and the saw, it does get a little loud. So we put our hearing protection on for that, but I want to allow you guys to watch as the process happens for everything from our flashbang pouches to our to actually going all the way from molding a pistol for a holster. So feel free, if you want to ask questions, go ahead. I can see your comments come up and down side comment bar here. But I'm gonna set you up so you guys can see everything going on. As I move you through my shop. Ooh, you might be too high. You guys watch from way up there. And from time to time you'll hear the cops because they're all over the place. So there you go. That should allow you to see what we are doing. So like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments or want to know anything, please feel free to ask. I'll try to read my little tiny screen way up there. So that one is finished. Tool belt on here. Normally I have music going, but as you guys have the access to my music. Let's see, I know another. What I am going to do, just so you guys don't run out, or I don't run out of battery life while I'm broadcasting, I'm going to go ahead and look up my handy dandy battery. So, I do apologize for that. So you guys can see what I'm doing. Yep. Good shot of everything there. All right. So like I said, I have a holster in the, or a holster molding in the press right now. So go ahead and get the oven back on. Standard M9 holster. So. I do apologize if I have my back to you, but what I'm doing right now is I'm drilling the holes so that way I can place the rivets. Nothing real super duper special. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here next, and I got some little burrs on the inside here from the drill, so I'll go ahead, I'll sand them off on the inside so it's nice and flat. You guys are getting a step-by-step process here. Take my handy dandy shop knife, just going to clean up those drill holes from the outside, because usually what happens is we get some little spurs. And it also makes it easier to to insert the rivets, which I do apologize because of the way the angle of the camera, you guys will not be able to see me do the handy dandy rivet press, because I know that is miles of excitement for you right there. But every single holster that we make here at FKT is completely handmade. So, you know, we haven't gone to, you know, injection molding or, you know, huge presses or anything like that. Every holster is handmade. But we're getting to the point where I can take and press out 10 holsters from oven to press and out. So an hour, so that's actually pretty good, and in some cases I can move a little quicker than that if the mood strikes me. So what I'm going to do is take these handy dandy little black rivets, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line up the drill holes again, and I am going to set this. Now, we do offer other colors of rivets as well, so we can get anything from hot pink, green, orange, yellow, black, red, OD green. You name it, we can get it. So before I got my rivet press, I was actually doing this with a mallet by hand. Very, very fun. So we've definitely upgraded as time has moved on, which is nice. The customers like that. We can get orders completed a little faster. I'll jump a couple steps ahead here. What we normally do once we get the holsters, you know, pressed out and the rivets are in, and we do the shaping, what we'll do is we'll do a rough sand, a hard sand, and then we will do a fine sand. They go into the wash. We take them in and we wash them down real good, get any debris or anything off the holster, and we let them air dry overnight. Sometimes if we have a lot that we're trying to get done in a short amount of time, we'll hand dry them, and then we'll put the backings on, or the attachments, which standard attachment for us is the Tactical Tailor Mallet's clip. I highly suggest, if you're looking to buy these, you either buy these in bulk from Index Fasteners or from Tactical Tailor. I've seen some places where they're selling 2 of these for $5. You can actually get 4 of them for $5. And if you order in bulk at least 100 of them from Index Fasteners, I believe it's like $90 for 100. So you're saving $10. So definitely, you know, if you're buying them for your military gear or whatnot, that's one thing to look into as well. Go ahead and get our lines drawn here, so that way I know where I need to cut. Now I do apologize, it is going to get a little loud. I do wear hearing protection because, hey, you only have so much hearing before it goes, right? And this helps muffle the sound of the saw. So, and the saw's right here, so again, my back will be to you. I do apologize, but I'll show you when I'm done of what the rough edged product looks like. the rough shaped product looks like after we cut all the pattern out and get it ready for sanding. So next I'm going to sand again. It's a little loud, my back's to you, the sander is right here. So again, but once I get done, you'll see what close to the finished product looks like. So. So, as you can see, here is the unsanded, unwashed holster. So it's pretty much ready for sanding. We're going to take our knife, we're going to cut some of this access kydex off. Yeah, we're going to make it look nice. We're going to make it easier for when I began hand sanding. And I'm sure some are like, well, why don't you do it with another sanding machine? Just use a lighter grip. Well, again, when I'm able to do this all by hand pretty much, I can tell just by looking at it where the issues might lie. So I'm able to tell if I have to go back and re-sand, or if I have to go back and maybe make an adjustment on a cut. Let's try to get all this burr stuff off so it makes it easier to sand. Easy enough. My rough sanding block here is going to help me sand down any burrs or anything off. I'm going to sand the rounded edges real good. And we try not to leave straight edges on our holsters because we don't want it to snag on anything. You know, if you're wearing an enforcer holster out of the waistband and you have a shirt down over it, the last thing you want it to do is snag if you have to move the shirt out of the way to get to your concealed carry weapon. So, you know, we make sure we have nice smooth edges, and that's why we take it in, we wash them. Because we want to get every burr, little sliver of kydex that might be hanging on, that broke loose during sanding, and this allows us to do it. And if you noticed, 0.63 black on the back, or 0.60, 0.08 in the front. Gives a little bit more flex in the back, which is nice. Gives a little bit more. So this is my fine sanding block. This is the last bit of hand sanding we do before a holster goes in and gets washed. So right here. We want to make sure We get everything nice and smooth. So it's like reclaiming that manufacturing spirit when everything was made by hand. Seems like more pride went into the work. You can see your end result of your craftsmanship. And what we'll do, run our fingers over it, make sure there's no burrs, make sure it's smooth. Tap out any extra little Kydex dust. And since we do so many of these a day, we actually have a box that we put them in, so that way we can take them all in at one time and wash them. It would be very tedious that if I took this in and went and washed it and wasted 3 minutes to wash it front and back, rinse it really good, make sure all the dust and debris out of it, let it air dry, then come back out here, do another holster. So we put them in one big box. At the end of the night, we take them in, scrub them down real good, let them air dry, bring them out, attach everything that needs to be attached, package them up, ship them out. That's how we do it. I mean, it's a pretty simple process. I'll show you how. And here we got a APS red gun. This was one of my very first molds. This thing has been with me forever, but hate to say it, it's going to be getting replaced soon with a multi-mold M9, just because of the fact that, like I said, I've had this particular mold since 2012 when we first opened the business. So I want to go ahead and replace it. Not saying that it's a bad gun or it's shrunk or anything. It's just, hey, it's time for something new. So we're going to be replacing this bad boy soon. But again, one of my very first ones, I've thought about actually spray painting it gold and putting it on a plaque or something, on a plaque and hanging it up in my man cave. But this is what we're going to mold here. I got one more holster for this one particular order for an M9. This is a full black. And people ask you, well, how do you tell the difference between the .6 and the .08 when you're doing a same color holster? Well, I take and I put a 1 on the .08, so I know that's my front sheet. That's my heavy stuff. So, pretty simple to do. Up in temperature, I'm right around anywhere between 305 to 315. I try to stay about 300 though most of the time. Kydex is coming out of the oven around 300 degrees. That's why I wear gloves, or I would have my hands all wrapped up and I'd look like a damn mummy. So, let's go ahead. I put the heavier stuff on the top since it's closer to the heat element. Lock it in there. Set the timer for 10 minutes. Yes, I use a crowbar on my oven to hold the door shut or better secure, because of the fact that when the movers moved us from Graham, Washington all the way out here, they smashed in a corner of my oven, which makes it so it doesn't seal all the way. However, we have a new oven en route, so that's what we have going on. The one thing I do want to show is when you guys think of your flashbang pouches and you think, hey, he probably cranks out 100 of these every time he's in the shop. It is an actual variable process. This is a finished banger pouch. Malice clips are on the back. It's ready to go. Coyote Brown's actually going out to a customer. Here is one that's been rolled and the holes in the back have been drilled. What's going to happen again is we're going to heat up one side, roll it back out. I'm going to attach the brackets for this side. I'm then going to roll it back up again, let it set and cool down. I'll grab another one and do the same thing to it. It takes approximately anywhere from 8.5 to 10 minutes for these to cool down enough to where they'll set. I won't have to worry about them coming undone. Then I have to do switch and do the other side. So there's a process. Once you get both brackets in and rolled in, then what I do is I'll set and let it cool down. I'll have 2 of these flashbang shells, these Thunderbee shells, in the pouch. I'll heat up the brackets, set them down, 30 to 60 seconds. I'll put pressure on them, and I'll slide them off to the back so that way they can cure and get hard where they need to so the grenade doesn't fall. Now, I've had people ask me, they say, why do you have blue tape around your grenades? Does it keep them from falling out? What I do is I put this tape on here because, believe it or not, when I'm rolling the grenade, it actually grips the Kydex, because on the shiny side, it's kind of tacky, so it makes it nice. It grabs a hold of this as I'm rolling it because I have to use both my hands. And again, when you're holding Kydex that is ranging anywhere from 300 to 280 degrees, it sucks. So it's nice that this tape grips. Now, hey, a secondary effect of it, if it does hold your shells in there better, by all means do it. But I will tell you what's going to happen is you're going to have it blow out the bottom side. So what I would suggest, if that's what your plan is somehow figure out how you can weaken the bottom side of your Thunderbee bank so you always make sure it's popping on the bottom. So yes, the flashbang pouches from start to finish take about 30 minutes. Because like I said, I heat it up in the oven, I roll it with 2 grenades, it sets for 10 minutes. Take it out, mark and drill the holes. Then I heat one side, roll it out, let it flatten, let it get cooled down. That takes about 5 minutes. I tack in the next bracket, heat it back up, roll it, set it. So right now you're at 25 minutes. I then go, I do the other side, same process. I let it sit, 10 minutes, I bring it out, heat up the bottom, 30 to 60 seconds, and I let that sit, and at that point it's ready to go. So about 30-35 minutes it takes to make one of these. I am working on a better process. However, right now that is the process I go with, and it works. It hasn't failed me. We've been able to crank, and when I really need to crank these out, I can crank out probably 2 in 20. Right? Oh, there it goes. Huh. So, okay, somebody, oh, now I'm seeing my comments. Let me come over and I will reply to your comments now that I see them coming up like crazy. Let's see. Jacob Payne, Glock 19 for me. Mark Zupa, me too. Is that for my Glock? Jacob Payne. How much in materials does a typical holster cost? In materials, depending on if you're getting a printed Kydex or a custom sheet. For a custom sheet of Kydex, you're looking at $12 just for the custom. Where a 1 foot by 2 foot length sheet of Kydex costs anywhere between $8 to $10 depending on what it is, to where a like a pattern like the Marpat or an Urban or anything along those lines can cost around $15, to where the Cryptek, the Hex Camo, the new Moonshine patterns, the Muddy Girl stuff, the ATAC stuff, that stuff all runs $30 a sheet. So per holster with everything, I think in materials alone, I would say about $20. And then if I was going to pay myself to do, like I said, from start to end for one holster from beginning to end, you're looking at anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the complexity of the holster and what we have to do to modify. So if I was going to pay myself after I got done, and I'm just going to say $10, if I'm lucky, I'll make anywhere between $5 to $6, but that's all based upon the holster. Like to give you guys an instance, if I went that same route for an in the waistband holster, I'm making $0 off that right now. I try to keep my prices competitive. When you guys look at a holster, the money that comes in for that holster, I've already earmarked for the next batch of supplies. So I've got supply orders that come in literally almost every other day. So I try to keep my stock up, especially with you guys that want the special patterns and stuff like that. That Glock 19 Jacob Payne, let me look into my orders. Send me a message offline, or Falcon Kydex a message, and let me know when that order was placed, and I'll look. That particular holster was for a customer that was a while ago, and like I said, he was a repeat customer. He came back to me, had an issue with one of the parts he ordered for his holster originally, and we turned around and we took care of him. So but yeah, it's once you get well established, if it's something you're looking into to start doing Kydex, whether it's just a hobby or you want to make it a business, I will tell you that I started this business in 2012, and I am just now, my business is starting to really take off, to where the orders that I have coming in and the retail contacts that I have now, and stuff I'm doing for overseas vendors in the UK especially, I'm now starting to get my business where it's starting to become viable, where I can now start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not something you can think about where, you know, you're like, oh, hey, I made 4 holsters and I charge $65 for each holster, and man, I'm rolling in it. But what you don't realize is you take that money and you look at what you need to rebuy to bring back in that you use, you know, whether it's mouse clips, belt loops, the hood, for example, we carry those, and when I get the money in for stuff and I earmark product, I start looking at that. I'm like, how can I evolve the next step? What products can I bring in, or what accessories can I bring in to better help my clients? And so, like you saw on the one particular holster, I have those hoods, those WRS level 2 hoods. I'm starting to do more and more of those holsters. Light bearing holsters. If I don't have that particular light, I have to go out and get it, or I check with Multi-Mold to see if they have the mold for it. If not, I'm usually ended up having to buy that. And we all know that how much some of those lights cost. It's hard to find just the shell of the light. So say for instance, you guys have the TLR ones. Thank God Multi-Mold makes a TLR1 mold that I can use, and they also mold guns with these lights on it, so it makes it easier for me. But there are some guns they don't make with the TLR1 on, so I have to go out and buy a TLR1 so I have it. And the problem is not one TLR1 will suffice, because there's like 3 or 4 different variants, and it could be the beveling around the light, it could be how it turns off and on. So I mean, there are many different things that when I look at my sheet at the end of the month or at the week, and I say to myself, okay, what have I been needing? What am I lacking? And I'll go out and do that. Just like recently, we've ordered 2 new types of presses. One's a taco press. The other one is a nice vertical drop down press for our, our enforcer holsters. So for our pancake style holsters, so that way everything is evenly distributed when it's pushing the pressure down onto the holster. Not to say that the press that we started with, this press that you saw me open that I'm going to use here in about 30 seconds for this gun, I have used this press since I started in 2012. And I've had to change the foam twice, and I have had large orders come through, and I've used this press. And just to give you an example of one of my very first wholesale orders that I ever had was right around 50 holsters, different variants, and I pushed them all through this press. Matter of fact, one of my buddies in Washington State, when I got that order, Jeremy Valentine, if you go back through my old pictures, I believe it's 2014, maybe early 2015, you will see pictures of these large amounts of like the ATP 1911s, Glocks. Those are what I'm doing right now. There's also another large order that I got at the end of last year from a UK supplier, and you'll see the same thing where I just show these pictures of massive amounts of holsters. Well, that has come from this one press. I've never had an issue with it. However, to make me more efficient and be able to turn out more orders and more holsters in a timely fashion, we're going to upgrade. We're going to buy new holsters or new presses. The other thing too, you put your money into it, is like right now you see that I'm using tables. Well, I'm soon getting custom wooden benches built. So that way I have the right workbenches for me, proper height and everything for me to work on. You got to start somewhere, and when you start this business, you know, some people are lucky and they start with a pocket full of cash when they start this business, or they have somebody who is constantly funding them to buy all their stuff. But for a lot of us, as we get stuff in, when I started with this M9 that I showed you guys, and I still have this today. I started with a Glock 17 with a TLR1 on it, and I believe I had one other one. I believe it was the red gun for the SIG 226, which I still have. I started with those 3 guns, my press, and I was cutting things out with a Dremel tool. I was sanding things down with a Dremel tool. When I was putting rivets, literally, I'm not kidding you guys, I was on my hands and knees with the little rivet set, and I was hammering those in. So, time has definitely changed. It's evolved for me, and as the bell goes ding, you guys will watch how this is done. I'm not sure. I think all companies do it like this, but I could be wrong. So like I said, I put my big stuff on the top. You have 90 seconds approximately to go from the oven to your press, get your gun set in the press, and that's a little high, so we'll fix that. And this stuff is very hot. I set, press like so. And that's how it's done. Quick, easy, to the point, and done. But like I was saying before, you know, you start simple, you start small, you test your abilities, you make some stuff for yourself, you make some stuff for some buddies of yours, let them find out, you know, hey, do you like this? What don't you like about it? What could I fix? How does this look? And I think somewhere around here, I still have the original, the very first light bearing holster I ever made, no channel blocks, nothing. Very first one I ever made, and it actually turned out quite well. I mean, it sucked because I would take the heat gun to make and go in and out with that gun into the holster till it formed its own channel. But as I learned and started talking to the guys that have been in the industry for a long time, and I'm like, hey, check this out. And I would say, oh, this would really work, and I'd buy them and try them, and now my holsters are looking even better. My mag pouches are looking even better because instead of, you know, depending on, you go to make a double mag pouch for, say, a Glock. Well, before I was putting 2 mags right by themselves. Now, you know, as you evolve, you get the drones or the molds, however, whatever company, they call them something different. But this is for Glock 9s and 40s. So now I can mold very easily a dual Glock mag pouch without issue. Good spacing, nice definition. I don't have to worry about snap caps, which are those little red fake shells that you can put in real mags. I don't have to worry about that. But I can tell you that not every mold maker is making every single mag out there. So you have to go spend money to buy, to get the mags. Good, for instance, is I had to make a couple mag pouches for the M&P Shield. Well, guess what? I had to go to, I think I went to Cabela's, and I bought me the mag for the M&P Shield because that was the only way I can get the mag. So when you guys ask those kind of questions, I don't have a problem telling you what I put in, but you have to look on the other side of what's going out. And when it goes out, I'm bringing in better equipment for me to become more efficient. Being a one-man shop, I remember it used to take me close to an hour and a half to make one holster, and I've gotten down where if I press the time limits and I just boom, 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 I can have a holster done in 35 minutes from start to end. That's like, for instance, cutting the time down and only letting the Kydex heat up for 5 minutes instead of 10. Dropping it in the press, only putting it in the press for 5 minutes. Then getting it out, drilling the holes, going right from that into the lines, cut the lines, sand it, boom. Within all that time, I can do that in about 15-20 minutes. So, you know, if time's really crunching or it's an order that has to be shipped out right away, the time constraints, and there are ways to effectively be more efficient and go faster. A lot of guys now use those t-shirt presses that press the graphics on the t-shirts now. Problem is they're very finicky, some of them are, and if you don't get the right one, you won't be able to get your Kydex to the right temperature. And some of these can heat up Kydex in 60 seconds. So if you know you're heating up to 310 degrees, I mean 60 seconds is amazing. I mean, if I had one of those, I could be turning out a holster or at least heating the Kydex. I would need a table full of presses. So we have to look at how I evolve, and so I have to plan accordingly. So when I get these big orders in and they say to me, do you have this mold, and this mold, I look at it right away. I'm like, yes. And if I don't have it, I let them know I can get it from here because I've used this mold vendor before. I've reached out to them and they've made it. So you always want to have different suppliers in line. I mean, there's DIY holsters, there's obviously knife kits, index fasteners are the 2 bigger ones. Your custom printed Kydex is your tactical infusion. I don't think there's really any other company that does that right now. He seems to get probably 95% of all the business for the custom printed stuff. I know right now he is working on printing 5 different custom prints for me right now, and we have a special that was requested from us for a holster One of the ZERT members had requested if we could do it, and sure enough, I got a hold of him. He's like, yeah, we can do that. So I'm waiting to see the proofs for that. That's really impressive. Let me see if you guys have any more comments. I don't see any more comments on there. I did see somebody, hang on, let's see if there's any more. Nope. So let me get you back so you can see what's going on. All right. So my neighbors probably think I'm crazy. So I'm sitting here talking to, obviously they think no one, but I'm talking to you guys. So like right now, we'll pull this out in about 5 more minutes, and it'll be hard enough that it'll have the nice definition we need. And I'll go ahead and I'll drill the holes. Same process all the way through. Drill the holes, cut them out so they're easier to mold, and then we'll turn around and we will go from there. One of the things that for a lot of you guys that want to know how I make those clip banger pouches, and I'm sure there's better ways to do it than what I'm doing it, but this one works for me quite well. So here are your Thunder Flash, Thunder Bee shells. You see I got the blue tape in there. That helps protect it, so when these are heat up, being 200 plus degrees, it's not warping them. I think my buddy Chris came up with a good idea to fill this with epoxy, so it's hard all the way through. And I will tell you guys, if you want a free banger clip, which are normally, I think we sell those now for 15 bucks a piece, send me one of these for free, or send me one of these, and I will turn around and crank out one for you for free and send it back. So I would like to get a couple more of them, just that way I can produce more. I can do one in each hand. So what I do is, I was alluding to, so once we get it sanded out and molded, I take that piece of Kydex, and I hold it around here with my hands. Yes, with my hands. I'm surprised I even have fingerprints anymore on my fingers, but that's what I do. So we use these shells, and like I said, if you want one of our clip style banger pouches for free, send me one of these shells. Send it to Vernon Goss, attention FKT, 16 Bush Court, Richmond Hill, Georgia 31324. It's completely up to you. I mean, I would much prefer you to buy them from me, but hey, if you send me a shell, I'll send you a banger pouch for free. And that's one of the things we do. So again, we hold those. I hold those with my hands, and it's worked pretty well so far until I find a better way to do it. I have been looking into making a PVC clamp, so I can put the Kydex on there and then slide the clamp over, and the clamp will hold it in position, and I'll be able to roll that one piece back. So that might be something I start doing here shortly. So that way, again, I don't have to hold it with my hand, and it will allow me to do more than one at a time, so I can produce more. For some of you guys, I know order a lot of special prints. I'll tell you, I'm working on an order right now. Mitt, if you happen to be watching this, I know him and I talk a lot. Mitt's is from Japan, and Mitt is a return customer of mine. I have the black multicam on order, so as soon as I get it in, I will finish off your Glock with the XC1 light. This is a Glock 17 with the XC1. He wants a in the waistband with this, so we're going to make him a really nice in the waistband holster out of the black multicam. His other holster is the Black Typhoon with the Glock 17. Is it 17 or 19? I have his order here. Yeah, Glock 17 with the X300 Ultra. So we got that done. We're going to actually take that in, wash it tonight, and then we'll have that ready to go. And the cool thing about that gun is he actually made it to where it can work off of malice clips or the RTI G-code, RTI hanger on the back. So, you know, we can do that as well. If you want something that's a little bit more versatile, we can definitely do it. Give us time to draw it up and spec it and see if it's something possible. So that's another return customer of ours. And I tell you guys this because we, you know, there are a few, very, very few Kydex makers out there in Europe. There are, like I said, there are a few. But as their reputation is not what it was, or their quality has dropped, or they've just stopped doing it, those players, those airsoft players, look over here to the US market. And I can tell you, I've sent holsters to Japan, I've sent holsters to England, I've sent holsters to Scotland, the UK, France. I've sent them, I sent one out to, I believe, Iraq for one of my customers who was in the sandbox over there. So we send all over the place, even Canada, even our neighbors to the north. I have sent product there to customers in Canada. And I know some of you are thinking, well, what about international shipping? You offer free shipping. Yes, I offer free shipping anywhere in the continental United States and Hawaii and Alaska, because that's the least I can do. However, damn mosquito. However, for the international orders, we do charge them, and we charge them half. I can guarantee you that most of my orders are going to come up and be around $60 if I send out a large flat rate box. So I charge them half, and I cover the other half. Now, any order that's placed that's international, that's over $500, or just any order in general that's over $500. Damn, mosquitoes. We ship those for free. We ship those for free, and because, again, you're spending a lot of money with us, and we want to take care of our customers. So what I'm going to do is, before I go offline here, is we're going to go ahead and take this holster out right here. And we are going to more likely call it a night. We actually got a lot accomplished before we went on the air. Finished off 2 orders tonight. For those of you that are waiting for orders to be finished, we do have more Coyote Brown on the way. I have some customers waiting on Coyote Brown. We just put that order in tonight. We literally ran out of it this past week, last week. So we have more of that coming in. I have ATAC FG coming in. I have Black Multicam coming in. I have custom printed stuff coming in. So for you ZERT members that'll be watching this video later, be sure to check with me. I know some of you have asked about getting the ZERT State patch as on a printed piece of Kydex. We can do that. So just let me know, and we will do that. We're also going to get this. I have a logo that that has been custom made, and we're going to be marketing it here shortly. We're going to do a PVC patches. Damn, those mosquitoes are big. And we're also going to be getting custom printed Kydex. And once we get the design finalized, we'll go ahead and we'll get that out there. For any prior Navy corpsmen, we do have custom printed Kydex for Navy corpsmen as well. I know some of you guys have asked me about your ZERT call signs being in your Kydex, and we are going to be getting a laser engraver, and I've watched a couple videos on it, and I believe that's something as a service that we can offer to laser engrave your call sign into your holster or mag pouch or whatever you want. So definitely be looking for that service. So we put the pistol in here with the nice hot warm Kydex, put it between our foam. I'm really not worried about how hot it is right now because it's been sitting here, it's had time to cool off. The foam actually helps dissipate the heat too. Oh, by the way, if you're ever looking for a weapon, and if there's any ladies watching it and you just can't find a cast iron skillet to hit somebody with or throw, the base or the lid to these press, great. It's absolutely amazing. I try not to let my wife know because I like keeping my brains intact. So there we go. Here's your holster, all pressed out, nice and pretty, nice M9 profile. And the thicker stuff, which we had laying down, because it's a right-handed holster, we want that thicker stuff showing out, more durability. That'll be here in the front, and then our thinner stuff for the flexibility is in the back. So we'll go ahead and tomorrow we'll drill out those holes for that particular holster, put it together, sand it down, or we'll put it together, cut it, sand it down, do our 2 levels of sanding, take it into our wash station, wash it up, let it air dry. and we'll get that out to our customer that's waiting for it. So, from Falcon Kydex Tech and Falcon Battle Systems LLC, this is Doc saying thanks for tuning in and staying with me today. Watching not only our draw test, which we're going to start doing more of that. We want you guys to see this, see the products actually as they work, instead of just saying, oh, did you see that really cool picture in his Instagram? You actually have seen it now. You've seen the draw functionality. We're going to start doing that more and more. The next draw test we're going to do is going to be for one of our ZERT members that we're working on. We're going to do her holster tomorrow. And probably, let me come back a little bit. Probably not tomorrow. I have my daughters that play soccer and I'm their coach. So all depends on what time I can get back from that. But once we get in here, we will get that holster and we will be doing a draw test on that. So that way you can see it. This holster is for a XDM compact 3-inch, the subcompact, and we're going to do a little forward cant. She's getting ready to take a training class and out of the waistband, but she is the one that has asked us for this special printed Kydex, and once we get it in, we will be sure to take pictures, put it on our Facebook page, and then we will show you guys this custom printed Kydex for Falcon Kydex Tech. Something that I think is going to be real cool. We're going to be able to do a lot of cool things with it. And we may even figure out how to incorporate it in with the whole ZERT thing as well. And so be looking for that. But like I said, I want to thank everybody for sticking with me tonight. It looks like we've been broadcasting for about an hour here, and I'm ready to call tonight. It's been a long day. And just want to thank everybody for staying with us, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.